Scene script. Have you ever wondered how much your credit card is really costing you? Let's delve into the world of high credit card usage and the potential pitfalls that come with it. You see, it's easy to swipe that piece of plastic for every little thing, but when you do, you're not just promising to pay back what you spent. There's a hidden cost that can creep up on you if you're not careful. Imagine a world where you could borrow money for free. Sounds great, right? Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. The reality is, when you use a credit card, you're essentially borrowing money, and that money comes with a price tag. It's called interest, and it's a cost many people overlook. Average interest rates on credit cards hover around 15 to 20%. This means if you carry a balance on your card, you're not just paying back what you spent, you're also paying an extra 15 to 20% on top of that. And that's where things can get tricky. This cost can accumulate over time, creating a snowball effect. The more you owe, the more interest you accrue, and the bigger your balance becomes. It's a cycle that can be hard to break, especially if you're in the habit of using your credit card for everything. And here's the kicker. Many people are completely unaware of these costs. They continue to swipe their cards left, right, and center, blissfully ignorant of the financial hole they're digging for themselves. It's a dangerous cycle, one that can lead to mounting debt and financial trouble. Now you might be thinking, I always pay my balance in full, so I don't have to worry about interest. But is that really the case? Stay tuned as we continue to unravel the true cost of credit cards. It's not just about the interest, there are other costs associated with high credit card usage. Now, let's dive into the world of fees. Yes, those extra charges that seem small, but can add up to a significant amount over time. First off, let's talk about late payment fees. We've all had those months where life gets a little too hectic, and suddenly we realize we've missed the due date for our credit card payment. Oops. But that little oversight can come with a hefty price tag. Late payment fees can vary, but they often run around $25 to $35 for each missed payment. And if you're late more than once, those fees can quickly multiply. Next up, we have annual fees. Not all cards have them, but for those that do, they can be a significant yearly expense. These fees can range from $20 to as high as $500 or more, depending on the type of card you have. The more benefits the card offers, the higher the annual fee tends to be. Then there are cash advance fees. This is a charge that comes into play if you use your credit card to withdraw cash from an ATM. These fees can be a fixed amount or a percentage of the cash withdrawn, sometimes as high as 5%. So if you're in a pinch and need to pull out $100, you could be looking at an extra $5 just for that one transaction. When you start adding all these fees together, it becomes clear that they can total to hundreds of dollars each year, even if you're paying off your balance in full every month. And remember, these are just some of the fees. There are others like foreign transaction fees, balance transfer fees, and more. So, even if you're diligent about paying off your balance, you could still be shelling out a lot of money in fees. Remember, it's not just about the interest. The hidden costs of high credit card usage can sneak up on you if you're not careful. Did you know that high credit card usage can also impact your credit score? Let's dive into this a bit more. There's this tricky little concept called credit utilization, and it's a major player in the credit score game. Credit utilization is basically the percentage of your credit limit that you're using at any given time. If you have a credit limit of $5,000 and your balance is $2,000, your credit utilization is 40%. Now you might be thinking, so what? I'm making all my payments on time. Well, here's the kicker. Even if you're the most punctual bill payer in the world, high credit card usage can still lower your score. It's like a seesaw. As your credit utilization goes up, your credit score tends to go down. Why is this, you ask? Well, lenders and credit card companies see high credit utilization as a sign that you might be relying too heavily on your credit cards, and that could make you a riskier borrower. It's a bit like showing up to a marathon wearing flip-flops. Sure, you might finish the race, but it's not going to be pretty, and people are going to question your judgment. So, let's say your credit score takes a hit because of high credit card usage. This can make it more difficult to get loans or credit in the future. Want to buy a house? Your dream lender might say no. Hoping to finance a car? You might get hit with a sky-high interest rate. Even something as simple as getting a new cell phone plan can become a challenge. And here's the real clincher. A lower credit score means you're likely to pay more in interest over time. That's right, the lower your score, the more you pay. It's a bit like a never-ending merry-go-round, where the only prize is a larger bill. So, high credit card usage doesn't just cost you money, it can also cost you opportunities. So, how can we break this cycle of high credit card usage and its associated costs? Well, the good news is, we have several strategies at our disposal. Remember, the goal here is to reduce our reliance on credit cards and to avoid falling into the trap of high usage and the hidden costs that come with it. One of the simplest strategies is to start using cash or debit cards for your everyday purchases. It's all too easy to swipe a credit card without thinking about the real cost. But when you use cash or debit, you're spending money you already have. This can help to keep your spending in check and reduce your reliance on credit. Next, consider setting a budget. A budget is a financial plan that helps you manage your money. It lets you see where your money is going, and it helps you to make informed decisions about your spending. By setting a budget and sticking to it, you can reduce your credit card usage and avoid the pitfall of overspending. Keeping track of your spending is another effective strategy. It's easy to lose track of how much you're spending when you're using a credit card, especially if you're not keeping an eye on your account. By regularly monitoring your spending, you can keep your usage in check and avoid any unpleasant surprises when your statement arrives. Finally, aim to pay off your balances in full each month. This is one of the most effective ways to avoid interest and fees. By paying your balance in full, you're not just avoiding extra costs. You're also demonstrating responsible credit usage, which can help to improve your credit score. By implementing these strategies, you can start to break the cycle of high credit card usage. It might take some time and discipline, but the rewards will be worth it. You'll be taking control of your finances, avoiding unnecessary costs, and setting yourself up for a brighter financial future. By making these changes, you can take control of your finances and avoid the hidden costs of high credit card usage. Let's recap what we've learned about the true cost of high credit card usage. We've navigated the labyrinth of credit cards, unmasking the hidden truths that often lurk behind glossy advertisements and enticing offers. It's been a journey of discovery, but the most significant takeaway is this. High credit card usage can come with a hefty price tag, and it's one that's often overlooked. We've peeled back the curtain on the high interest rates that credit cards carry. These rates can quickly turn a small purchase into a mountain of debt if not managed correctly. The interest is calculated daily, and it's compounded, meaning you're paying interest on your interest. This is why those seemingly harmless purchases can balloon into something much more substantial. Then we delved into the realm of the hidden costs. The annual fees, the late payment charges, the over-limit fees, and the list goes on. These costs can sneak up on you, and before you know it, you're paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars more than you intended. We also examined the impact on your credit score. High credit card usage can significantly lower your score, making it harder to secure loans or mortgages in the future. This is because lenders view high credit utilization as a sign of financial instability, and that's certainly not a reputation you want to have. But it's not all doom and gloom. We explored ways to break the cycle, to take control of your finances, by making timely payments, keeping your credit utilization low, and staying vigilant about hidden fees. You can navigate the credit card maze with confidence. So, what's the bottom line? High credit card usage can be costly, but it doesn't have to be. Knowledge is power, and by understanding the ins and outs of credit cards, you can use them to your advantage. Remember, your credit card doesn't have to be a financial burden. With the right knowledge and strategies, you can use it wisely and avoid the hidden costs.